So welcome back again students to another video lesson. So after nating i-discuss yung operations on radical expressions, so for the 8th week of our video lesson for grade 9 mathematics quarter 2, so we will be discussing about solving radical equations. So kung meron tayong quadratic equations last first quarter, so we also have an equation which is radical equation. So for the lesson objectives, we will discuss the steps in solving radical equations and determine extraneous solutions among answers. Okay, so yung extraneous solutions na yan, meron din po yan sa radical equations. Kasi unan yung na-encounter yan sa quadratic equations. So let us have a review. So nth root of ax plus b is equal to c. So in the given equation, n is what we call the index. So ayan, yung n po is what we call the index. And then ax plus b is the radicand. And then, so since equation ang pinag-uusapan natin, of course, meron po tayong equality symbol. And then, c. Okay, so kapag ang radical equation is written in standard form, or any equation siya, so usually po, equal to 0. And then we have radical equations. So a radical equation is an equation in which the variable is under a radical or has a rational exponent. So for you to be able to understand radical equation, let's have an example. So square root of x minus 5 equals 2 and cube root of 2x plus 7 is equal to negative 3 are examples of radical equation. So again, so yung mga numbers na nakasulat dito sa itaas, ayan, kagaya niyan, yan po yung tinatawag na index. So kapag square root po kasi ang pinag-uusapan natin, we don't need to write 2. Understood na po yun. And then kapag cube root na, of course, we will write 3. Okay. So, kapag radical equation ang pinag-uusapan natin, so humahanap po tayo na dito ng particular value or values of x that will make the equation correct. Okay, so dapat equal both sides po yan kung meron tayong particular values of x. So, here are the steps in solving radical equations. First, isolate the radicals and identify the index. If the given equation has more than one radical expression, isolate one of them. Okay. So, may mga given radical equations kasi tayo na more than one radical expression. So, kapag ganun po, kailangan po natin silang paghiwalayin. So, i-isolate. And then, we will identify the index. Like, for example, square root of a minus square root of b is equal to 0. Okay. So, pag in-isolate natin yan, dapat magiging square root of a equals square root of b. So, magkahiwalay na po yung dalawang radical expression. And then, kapag naman, isa lang ang radical expression at meron tayong constant term na nasa left side, kailangan po natin yung tanggalin at ilipat sa right side. Okay. For the next step, raise both sides of the equation to the index of the radical. So, after nating identify yung index, i-raise natin yung buong equation or both sides of the equation dun sa index na in-identify natin. So, kapag square root, i-raise natin both sides of the equation by 2. Kapag cube root naman, by 3. So, nakadepende po dun sa index kung ano yung i-raise natin both sides of the equation. Next, apply algebraic techniques such as factoring and combining similar terms to isolate the variable. In case there is still a radical equation, repeat steps 1 and 2. So, dito sa radical equations, we can apply algebraic techniques like factoring o kaya naman combining similar terms para naman mapaghiwalay natin yung variable. So, kapag po kasi ni-raise natin yung both sides of the equation, maaaring yung resulting equation ay linear equation, quadratic equation, cubic equation, and so on. So, ang gagawin po natin doon, kailangan po natin silang i-factor or pwede rin namang i-combine similar terms para makuha natin yung mga value or values of x. So, kung anumang variable ang ginamit. And then, kapag may radical symbol pa rin na lumitaw after nating erase yung both sides ng equation, kung ano man yung index, so, repeat steps 1, 2, and 2 din lang ang gagawin. So, ulitin lang natin yung unang step, tsaka pangalawa, hanggang matanggal yung radical symbol. Hanggat wala ka nang nakikitang radical equation. Next, after nating makuha yung value or values of x, so the next step that is important is to always check your solutions to determine extraneous solutions. So ano nga ba yung extraneous solutions? So extraneous solution, it is a solution of the transformed equation but not the original equation. So kapag kasi tinransform natin yung radical equation into linear equation or quadratic equation, meron tayong minsan nakukuhang solution na kapag sinubstitute natin dun sa original equation, yung radical equation pa siya, okay? So, hindi niya iyon sinasatisfy. So, sinasatisfy lang niya yung transformed equation but not the original equation. So, yun po yung extraneous solution. So, not all radical equations have extraneous solutions. So, kailangan po nating chine-check yung sagot para malaman natin kung meron bang extraneous o wala. So, let us have the first example. Square root of x is equal to 5. So, yung first step na kailangan nating sundan is i-isolate natin yung mga given. So, since naka-isolate naman sila, next step na tayo, which is to raise the both sides of equation to the index of the radical. So, yung index po ng radical equation natin is 2. So, square root po kasi siya. So, ang gagawin natin, square root of x, i-erase natin sa 2. Same with 5. So, square root of x times square root of x is equal to x. So, mawawala na po yung radical symbol. And then, 5 squared or 5 times 5, that is 25. So, the value of x here is 25. Now, let's check. Square root of x is equal to 5. And then, we will substitute the value of x, which is 25. So, square root of 25 is equal to 5. So, square root of 25 is 5 equals 5. So, ibig sabihin, ang solution po ng ating given equation is 25. So, ayan. X is equal to 25. Next example. So, the square root of 2x minus 5 is equal to 7. So, naka-isolate naman yung radical expression dito sa left side, tsaka yung constant term na nasa right side. So, ang gagawin nating susunod is, we will raise both sides of the equation by the index of the radical expression. Okay. So, ano ba ang index ng square root of 2x minus 5? 2 po. So, we will raise both sides by 2. So, ang technique lang po dito, kapag ni-raise natin yung square root, kung ano mang expression yon sa 2, mawawala na po yung radical symbol. Kapag naman cube root, 3 yung i-raise, mawawala na din po yung radical symbol. So, kapag ni-raise natin yan, ang lilitaw na sagot is 2x minus 5. And then, 7 squared or 7 times 7 is 49. And then, applying addition property of equality, we will add 5 to both sides of the equation. So, 2x minus 5 plus 5 is equal to 49 plus 5. Para matanggal yung negative 5 sa left side, madala sa right side. So, kapag nililipat naman natin, tandaan, magbabago po dapat yung sign. So, from negative, magiging positive. From positive, it will become negative. So, itong negative 5 plus 5 na to, 0 po yan. So, 2x na lang ang matitira equals the sum of 49 and 5 is 54. Dividing both sides by 2. So, the value of x is 54 divided by 2, 27. So, ayan po yung value ng x, which is 27. Now, let's check. X is equal to 27. So the square root of 2x minus 5 equals 7. So we will substitute the value of x 27 to the given radical equation. So 2 times 27 minus 5 is equal to 7. And then 2 times 27 is 54 minus 5 equals 7. So 54 minus 5 is 49 equals 7. And then the square root of 49 is 7 equals 7. Ibig sabihin, yung x is equal to 27 ay solusyon ng ating radical equation. Next, example number 3. So the square root of 4x plus 1 minus the square root of 3x plus 7 is equal to 0. Okay. So kung mapapansin natin, may higit isang radical expression ang nasa left side. So square root of 4x plus 1 tsaka yung square root of 3x plus 7. So ang gagawin po natin, i-isolate po natin yung square root of 3x plus 7. So dadalhin po natin siya sa right side of the equation. So magiging square root of 4x plus 1 and then negative square root of 3x plus 7. So ililipat natin siya sa right side, magiging square root of 3x plus 7. And then i-erase natin siya dun sa index ng ating radical. Okay. So ang index po ng ating radical expression is 2. So we will raise both sides of the equation by 2. And then matatanggal na po yung radical sign. Magiging 4x plus 1 is equal to 3x plus 7. And then kailangan natin tanggalin ng positive 1 sa left side, dalhin sa right side. Yung 3x naman, tanggalin natin sa right side, dalhin sa left side. So magiging 4x minus 3x is equal to 7 minus 1. As you can see, yung 3x, nung nailipat siya, naging negative. Yung positive 1 naman, naging negative din siya. So 4x minus 3x is x. And then 7 minus 1 is 6. So our value of x is 6. Now, to check. So x is equal to 6. So the square root of 4x plus 1 minus the square root of 3x plus 7 equals 0. So we will substitute the value of x, which is 6. 4 times 6 plus 1 minus the square root of 3 times 6 plus 7, and then equals 0. 4 times 6 is 24 plus 1 minus the square root of 3 times 6, 18 plus 7 equals 0. So 24 plus 1 is 25 minus 18 plus 7 is also 25 equals 0. Square root of 25 is 5 minus square root of 25 is 5 also equals 0. So 5 minus 5 is 0 equals 0. So yung solution natin dito sa radical equation na ito is x equals 6. As you can see, upon checking, equal both sides sila. So x is equal to 6 is correct. Example number 4. So the square root of 2x plus 15 is equal to x. Okay. As you can see, yung nasa right side ng ating equation is a variable. Hindi siya constant. So, same pa rin naman. We will raise both sides of the equation by 2. So, and then matatanggal ang radical symbol. Magiging 2x plus 15 equals the square of x is x squared. So, pwede natin pagpilitin ng pwesto. X squared is equal to 2x plus 15. And then, itong 2x plus 15 ay lilipat natin sa left side. So, magiging x squared minus 2x minus 15 is equal to 0. So, as you can see, quadratic equation po yung ating resulting equation. So, yung examples 1 to 3 kanina, puro po linear equation. So, dito, since quadratic equation siya, meron po siyang dalawang roots. So, ang gagawin natin dito, ifa-factor natin yung x squared minus 2x minus 15. So, yung factors ng negative 15, kapag pinag-add natin, magiging negative 2 is, or are, negative 5 and 3. So, magiging x minus 5 times x plus 3 is equal to 0. And then, we equate each term to 0. So, magiging x minus 5 equals 0. And then, x plus 3 is equal to 0. And then, so, magiging x is equal to 5. Yung kabala naman, magiging x is equal to negative 3. So, you can see, dalawang values of x ang ating nakuha. 5 tsaka negative 3. Now, we will check our answers. So, dun muna tayo sa x is equal to 5. So, x is equal to 5 muna. So, 2 times 5 plus 15 equals the value of x, 5. 2 times 5 is 10 plus 15, 25 equals 5. So, the square root of 25 is 5 equals 5. So, yung x natin equals 5 is correct. What about x is equal to negative 3? So, the square root of 2x plus 15 equals x. 2 times negative 3 plus 15 is equal to negative 3. 2 times negative 3 is negative 6 plus 15 equals negative 3. And then negative 6 plus 15 is 9 equals negative 3. So, square root of 9, sulat natin dito, is 3. Is it equal to negative 3? No. So, ibig sabihin po, ang x is equal to negative 3 is an extraneous solution. So, solution po siya ng ating transformed equation na x squared minus 2x minus 15 is equal to 0. Pero, yung original equation natin na the square root of 2x plus 15 equals x, hindi po niya sinasatisfy. It's because 3 is not equal to negative 3. So, example number 5, the square root of 3x plus 1 plus the square root of 5 minus x is equal to 4. So, since dalawa yung radical expressions natin na nasa left side, kailangan po natin i-isolate ang square root of 5 minus x. So, magiging square root of 3x plus 1 equals 4 minus the square root of 5 minus x. And then, we will square both sides. So, square root of 3x plus 1 square, that is 3x plus 1 na lang. And then, the quantity 4 minus square root of 5 minus x square is square po natin na parang binomial. So, square the first term, 16. So, 4 times 4 is 16. And then, twice the product of the first term, 4, and the second term, or last term, negative square root of 5 minus x. And then, square the last term. So, negative square root of 5 minus x. So, since i-square natin siya, matatanggal na po yung radical symbol. So, magiging 5 minus x na lang siya. Next, i-combine like terms natin. So, 16 tsaka 5 minus x. dadalhin dapat natin yan sa left side. So, magiging 3x plus 1 minus 16 minus 5 plus x is equal to 2 times 4, that is 8, times negative square root of 5 minus 8, magiging negative 8 square root of 5 minus x. And then, combine like terms, 3x, tsaka x, 4x, and then 1 minus 16 is negative 15 minus 5, negative 20 equals negative 8 square root of 5 minus x. And then, ang gagawin natin, so since divisible naman yung 4, negative 20, negative by 4, i-divide natin yung equation natin by 4. So, magiging x minus 5 is equal to negative 2 square root of 5 minus x. So, yung nakuha nating equation na x minus 5 is equal to negative 2 square root of 5 minus x. Meron pa po siyang radical symbol or radical sign. So, radical equation pa rin siya. So, ang gagawin natin, square pa rin natin both sides. So, the square of x minus 5 is x squared minus 10x plus 25 equals negative 2 square magiging 4, and then square root of 5 minus x magiging 5 minus x na lang kasi in-square natin siya. Matatanggal na yung radical symbol. Next, x squared minus 10x plus 25 equals 4 times 5 minus x is 20 minus 4x. So, i-distribute lang natin yung 4 sa 5 minus x. And then, combine like terms. So, x squared minus 10x plus 25 minus 20 plus 4x is equal to 0. So, itong 20 minus 4x, tanggalin po natin sa right side, dalhin po natin sa left side. So, magiging x squared minus 6x. So, i-combine natin ang negative 10x tsaka 4x. And then, 25 minus 20 is 5 equals 0. And then, we will factor x squared minus 6x plus 5 para makuha natin yung roots. So, yung factors ng 5 na kapag pinag-add natin, lilitaw yung negative 6 na middle term, negative 1, tsaka negative 5. So, magiging x minus 1 times x minus 5 is equal to 0. So, let's check. Negative 1 times negative 5 is positive 5. Negative 1 plus negative 5 is negative 6. So, tama po yan. And then, equate natin each term by 0. So, magiging x minus 1 is equal to 0. X minus 5 is equal to 0. And then, x minus 1 is equal to 0. That is x equals 1. And then, x minus 5 equals 0 will become x is equal to 5. So, yan po yung solution ng ating equation. So, mahaba pong proseso kapag po kasi kailangan pa po nating tanggalin yung radical symbol ng dalawang beses. So, para maging linear equation siya o kaya naman quadratic equation. So, i-check natin ngayon yung mga naging solutions natin. So, yung una nating value of x is 1. Pangalawa naman is 5. So, the square root of 3 times 1 plus 1 plus the square root of 5 minus 1 equals 4. Next, 3 times 1 is 3 plus 1 and then plus the square root of 5 minus 1 is 4. Ayan, equals 4. So, 3 plus 1 is 4. Square root of 4 plus square root of 4 is equal to 4. So, square root of 4 is 2. plus 2 then equals 4. So 2 plus 2 is 4. So 4 is equal to 4. Next, x is equal to 5. 3 times 5 plus 1, then plus the square root of 5 minus 5 equals 4. So the square root of 3 times 5, that is 15, plus 1 plus the square root of 5 minus 5, square root of 0, equals 4. Square root of 15 plus 1, that is square root of 16, plus the square root of 0 is 0, equals 4. Square root of 16 is 4, plus 0 is equal to 4. So 4 plus 0 is 4, equals 4. As you can see, pareho po silang nag-equal both sides. So, ibig sabihin, yung ating solution na x equals 1 and x is equal to 5, pareho po silang solution ng ating given radical equation. So, wala po tayong extraneous solution. So, up next, so this will be our last video lesson. So, yung next video lesson natin will be solving problems involving radicals. Okay, so after natin i-discuss yung mga operations on radicals, yung laws of radicals, radical equations, so kailangan din natin i-apply through solving word problems. So, yun lang. Maraming salamat.